Okay, we're so back. Got a bit of a framework for this week so far. If by framework you mean literally take worm and porcupine regardless of the situations and just keep running them. What did we lose to? Round 1, I didn't get far enough to know what we lost to. Round 2, we lost to... Basically, we got someone who stuck with their early units and outscaled us. Noted. I think we basically lost to our team, but better. Now, notice I didn't say shop difference or anything like that. Cruising legend, me when I get welcome aboard the Disney Wonder. Now, I do think I've been too hard on myself. I think I was saying I don't have the early game figured out, when what I mean to say is I haven't had good early game results. Because I think I have the early game figured out. I think you want moths and silk moths. But if we don't get moths and silk moths, then we're running 2/3s and ants wherever we can find them. Now, what will I be doing here? Once we finish round 1, which is semi-irrelevant. It looks like this will be a long one, by the way. Simply because someone timed out round 1. We'll be doing our stuff. And then we will be looking at team names to figure out our favorite team name. I definitely feel like we want to level up turn 3, sorry, because it seems like getting an early porcupine can go crazy. Now, let me see. I'll end turn first. Feeble sardines. Ballistic doodads. It's okay. Offensive dust bunnies. Miffed pianists, very good. Mechanical swimmers, funny mental image. Giggling bagels and burbling uncles. I'm going to say Pedro with the miffed pianists. Stand up, take a bow. You earned it this time. Oh! I forgot it's not arena. The trophies don't matter, but... Give me my level. Okay, interesting. My level. Okay. I think if there's any sauce to be sauced here, I guess, an owl that summons a mouse is basically 1 gold and a 1/1 buff every turn. The cost is the owl stats suck, and you have to leave a space open. But it might be enough. It's actually a 1/2 buff, now that I think about it. But that might be enough to justify taking it. I've never really worked with never been in the same workplace as this new owl. It's a different era. Okay, we're already in 7th place at worst, so that's great. I'm not saying they quit because they didn't get the ideal lobbies or the ideal shops. I'm saying they quit because... probably has some very important stuff to do. That's life, man. That's life. They got their own owl. Horse and cricket. Now that, I'm not saying we rinsed them. It was very close. I just didn't even think about horse and cricket. It's been so long. So I'm going to buff you. I'm not really that interested in taking a silk moth right now, even though I could certainly see a world where it might help us. I think it's close to being a little too late. Now we make a space for the mouse and we roll once again. It's not really like a buy-sell week because there's no shrimp, there's no starfish, I think, but you could survive until the late game, and then, I mean, if you get an early poodle, change the poodle, change your world. Now, can we find out who this person is that's timing this out? And send them a strongly worded email to say, come on, brother. Looking at teams. This one's freaking me out, this weekly. So I've had like a 6th place and a 2nd place finish. Pretty bad. You know for a fact, though, anytime you see a lemur, you're going to want to take it. That's just science. Sell me. I mean, I'm going crazy mode. I think this ant has the potential to stick around. And you know what makes me believe that it has the potential to stick around? because we got our butt kicked by one earlier, like last round. So I'm going to make a bold statement. My bold statement, well, first off, is that this round is not going to be great for us. You should not be frozen anymore. My second bold statement is that this rabbit is going to be smart. And now, what do we not want to see? We don't want to see garlic. We don't want to see, no, we don't want to see high attack. That's like literally the one squad I was looking at where I was like, I hope I don't see this squad. Every other squad I was, look, there's a clone. You gave me a clone of the person we just fought. How dare you? How dare you, sir? So okay. I'm going to take my level. Man, Buffalo is an interesting idea when you're generating a mouse every turn, huh? Just give me this first. Don't even freeze a peach. You're okay. Okay. And now, keep in mind, we got buyable sellables. Like, Buffalo has been way less prevalent in the meta ever since its change. What I was going to say earlier was this weekly's got me freaking out because I feel like the last two weeklies that have come out since Ranked made it to the production build, I understood the early game and the mid game. So oftentimes I would kind of dominate early game, mid game, fall off late game, but still finish in the top 4. And generally speaking, kind of like climb up the rankings a little bit. This week, I feel like I'm not going to say I understand the late game, but I'm kind of getting... Things are tougher in the early game as well. It's a spicy meatball, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Now remember, we want to do buy sells. This is a very nice buy sell opportunity for which I'm extremely appreciative. This would also be a great time to have crows. I mean, just to be honest, at some point we're probably going to sell you. For now, enjoy 2 HP. I don't think, I mean, my personal opinion, there's no disrespect meant to Ludwig here. The goldfish, in my personnel opinion, unusable. Hang on, I've been added on my Discord. I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it. They're talking about how I don't have headphones on in some of my thumbnails now. They said NL without headphones is like an angel without his wings. So I'll tell you what happened, okay? I'm old. I've been stuck in my workflow for a while. When we lived at our old place, I would take a screenshot of me going like, in Photoshop, or then paste that into Photoshop, and then I would use the magic wand tool to erase around my head, and then I could put that in a thumbnail. Okay? Now, just resist the urge to computer programmer me. Why don't you just take one photo with each expression that you could then save as a template? Yeah, sure, okay. I mean, honestly, because I don't want to be accused of doing that. But it would save me some time, which is important because of what I'm about to say. Ever since I moved, that's become much harder. That's so huge. As a result of the fact that my background is like the same color. I would love to get a stinky sock, man. I think just to keep us in the game right now. I know we're not creating a mouse right here. If we're not creating a mouse, we should probably just sell the owl. We could run 4 squatted and give you a 4/4 buff. That seems better than just throwing a beta fish out there. I think. Maybe. I don't know. I guess we could have sold it next turn. It would have... whatever. I'm not sweating it too much. Regardless... Because like the background is like the same color as my skin, which is the same color as my shirt, which is the same color as the shelves below it. So I couldn't find like the right value to put into the magic wand to get it to nicely cut out my head. However, there is something in Photoshop called Quick Actions, which allows you to, on a layer, one click, do something that is a common task. Probably the most commonly used is remove background. So I said, let's give this a try. I pasted my picture in, me going like... And with headphones, it doesn't cut out me well. It cuts out part of my headphones. It cuts out part of me, cuts out part of my shirt, makes it look a little silly, okay? When I take my headphones off, it works fine. But I look weird because that's what I actually look like, sans headphone. That's interesting. We could spend 1 gold to re-up our toy every time. I have to think about that. I have to think about that one. Because we'd sell a rabbit to make it happen, I suppose. It's an interesting idea. So anyway, that's the methodology behind it. You may or may not care, which is your prerogative, for the record. I should have taken a Lynx if I was gonna sell. Oh, I kind of like it. So I know what you're gonna say, by the way, and I'm not even suggesting you're wrong. Because what you're going to say is you're wasting 1 gold to re-up. Yes, that is true. But it also, wow, that's a strong lad. The heron, I didn't even think about that. It also means I don't have to fish for another one if I'm about to run out of material, right? So, I still want Stinky Sock. And then give me the double stink. We're not going to get another trigger on you this turn. In that case, we should probably just save. Maybe even hit you with the chili pepper. Now, we might be dead here. We're going to be in the top half, which is kind of amazing and very surprising. And we got a little double skunk action coming at you, right? Yeah, more or less. So anyway, that's why some of my Photoshop thumbnails now have me, and probably all of them soon will have me with no headphones. And you might say, but it looks weird. That's possibly true. I think I look weird without headphones on too. That's why I wear a hat when I go outside. You need something to delineate between the skin and the real world, right? When you're as bald and as pale as I am, that becomes increasingly important. Just grow a beard. It itches. I don't really like it. Neither does my wife, but that's beside the point. That being said, time is at a premium right now, and using the eraser to manually cut out my head from this wall behind me, first off, I do a pretty bad job. Secondly, if I got to do like 10 thumbnails in one night because it's been like 2 days since I could do it and I played games that I don't have templates for, blah, 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 it could be like 5 minutes per thumbnail. So you can see pretty quickly, you know, like it adds up. You start saving I'm dead. You start saving a reasonable amount of time. 2 ranking points down. That's no big deal. Whoops, that's arena. And that time is more valuable to me right now. Don't take offense to this. I'm just a dude. But I was going to say my time right now is at the level where it's at a premium. Ergo, my free time that I can eke out is much more valuable to me than you seeing me with a sense of familiarity. This is stacked lobby. Okay. Note to self. How do we execute on our methodology here? I think you know what you want in the early game, and we kind of got it. Take Lord of the Sacks. I did have a Hydra Seal. Look it up, but don't look it up on Google image search. This is when I was in high school, and I had it surgically removed. So definitely don't look it up on YouTube. If you're squeamish. Anyway, you could probably fill in the blanks considering my name. But I really was the Lord of the Sacks for a while. Like a lot of people might have the name, but I was really that guy, okay? Anyway, sorry for the inside baseball. Early game, we want ants and 2 different kinds of moths. As soon as round 3 rolls around, we want a freaking lemur with garlic. This is a scam. I've been scammed. Captain Jean-Luc Picard, the USS Enterprise, placed me against my mirror match. He stole my whole flow! Line for line, bar for bar! I don't know if this will work, but we'll give it a try. The real Chad play is run your 3/3 ant in position 2, knowing that your opponent probably has a moth. So you let your moth ants blow each other out, and then you let your 2/2 unit feast on the King of the Ashes. But then what is going to hit a 2/2 unit that isn't going to kill it in the first hit? Not much. Hey, they don't have moths. Moths, the meatloaf. You know what I'm talking about? Wedding Crashers. I never know what she's doing. Anyway, this is fine. It's totally fine. It's completely useless, but so be it. Pretty bad. It's pretty horrendous, to be honest with you. Maybe we'll try to beat the odds here, and we'll create a super swan up at the front. It is nice to have 2 extra gold. I was thinking, you know, an interesting idea this week, and this is just theory crafting. I haven't had the opportunity to put it in action yet. What if you made like a super stoat? What if you got a stoat to level 2 or shops willing level 3 and then sold it at tier 5 to try to pivot to poodle or lion? Because it seems like this week, well, I don't know. I've only had one game that really made it to the late game, so maybe I'll resist commenting on like how the meta is. It's only round 4. I gotta say, again, I'm biased. Booming Babies wins my name of the game here. Because they do be blowing out their diapers from time to time. Now, my daughter, she's using the potty almost every time, which is sweet. Except, it's actually, what they don't tell you about potty training is that the training itself is actually way more annoying than when your kid pooped in diapers. Because when your kid pooped in diapers, you just change the diaper and wipe them. But like, it didn't necessarily interrupt what you were doing that much until you noticed that they were doing it at least. But when you're potty training, like, you got to be like, okay, it's time to go to the potty. And then they go, no, I don't want to. I don't have to. And then you go, let's just try anyway. And then you take them to the potty, and then, you know, you're crammed into like a little bathroom stall with your toddler, and you put them on the toilet. They immediately start peeing, and you're like, you little liar. You did have to go. I know it takes a while for them to like identify this sensation, okay? I'm just saying, like, why are we making this so hard on each other? I'll give you some meat. I don't think it's gonna be the be-all, end-all. I'm just happy to still be on 5 life, honestly. I think the meat is like it's the lemur counterplay. Without receiving a lemur, we run the meat to break opponents' garlics. Now, the rest of our squad can't really hang, but it is what it is. I mean, I called it. It's a problem with getting the frickin' trumpet fish early. Okay, these also I see as largely useless. In theory, we should be able to afford the reroll. You know what? I mean, we got nothing else going on the squad. Gaining some stats feels nice. I do feel like we don't want 2 worms. I'd rather have 2 swans. But at some point, we need to get a lemur. Like, I really feel like look at how many garlics are out here, man. I feel like lemur clears everything, and hedgehog clears everything. I think we've had, if I'm being honest, and there's no salt here, it's just the game. My personal feeling right now is that we have had tough luck on our levels up. We certainly have not gotten critical path, which would probably be like level up turn. Well, you probably wouldn't level up earlier. Well, but if you level up early and you got garlic, oh, imagine. I don't even know that I'm looking at it. I'm like, what is critical path? Turn 3, level up, get a porcupine, maybe a betta fish. Owl has been interesting. Turn 5, level out of what? Listen. No. Double garlic? In this household, if you're under my roof, you run single garlic, okay? It's just insubordinate and churlish. I'm buffing the swan, and I'm looking for something better, and I honestly, I think the porcupine, it's better than the spider, so you could sell the spider. And then, honestly, at least the lemur is something here, and then just make sure you run it like that. Maybe run it like, it doesn't matter too much, maybe. And then Freesia Vakadu me for round 7. We'll be praying for a swan level up that gives us a poodle, maybe. But I'm a little scared. So far, what this feels like to me this week is that there's a bit of a gap between the haves and the have-nots. Now, where are we? In the blessed position of being the only middle-class person in the verses right now. Nah, we might be a have-not. We are down here at 3 HP. Like, realistically, what teams do I wash here? It's crazy that you have 5 HP, but your team looks like it's a little bit detritus. No disrespect. I mean, you got 5 wins. The results speak for themselves. Have you really not gone up against anybody who has garlic? I see it, by the way. I see the pineapple. I'm just saying everybody's got a plan until they get meat in their mouth. I knew where the joke was going. The second the words left my mouth, I threw that before I walked into the room. I want the champ. Put me up against Talamp. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. Please, God, don't put me up against the champ. Please, God, please, God, please, God. Oh, no. I didn't see the deer. I didn't see the... They pivoted to a deer. I didn't see the deer. There's no way I could have known, bro. Okay, well, I mean, even the apple at this point is like... 2 gold for that ain't gonna save your game, okay? I think you almost have to throw your lot in with anything that could possibly scale you there. I think we gotta do a rare double sell. How do you feel about this one, gamers? Sounds like you feel about as good as I do. Level 2 llama, please don't lose this one. And return. No, obviously not. I misclicked. Please, 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 please. Everybody else die. Everybody else. Anybody on 1? 1, 1, 1. Holy cow! What is this? 119 swan. Survive. We're not surviving, bro. Oh no, no, no! It's all falling apart. I'll just level with you. Our way out is somehow this llama goes crazy and we only go up against garbage squads. Maybe, hang on, I gotta sell the whole squad to make this go. Okay, you gotta go. I'm going insane. This is hardly recommendable. And if I go up against a sniper, we are cooked. But you have to admire the audacity to not go gentle into that good night, right? Maybe. Now, how much damage you do? 4 damage to a random enemy for every 2 friends who faint. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. So you're going to do 4 damage twice. It's not a huge get, but if you could just make it through this round, who knows, brother? Ah, son of a gun. Oh, that's a bad one. All right, well, not my finest performance. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time. See ya!